Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Wassalatu wassalamu ala ashraf al-anbiya al-mursaleen. Muhammadin wa ahl bayt at-tayyibin at-tahirin al-ma'sumin. Sayyim al-imam al-muntadhar al-hujjat al-thani ashar. Ruhi wa arwah al-alamin li turabi maqdamih al-fida. Amma ba'd. Faqad qala Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bi kitabih al-majid wal-furqan al-hamid. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Rabbi zidni ilma. Sadaqallahu al-ali al-azim. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Inshallah, I hope everyone is well and everyone can hear me.
Walaikum
assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Walaikum assalam.
Right, okay. I'm not feeling that great. I've got a slight cold, so inshallah see what I could do today. Now, what I'm doing today, I will try to tie some knots with some of the topics we started, or some of the vocabulary we started, and also start from the Ben Jones book as well. Now, I'm going to go first of all to Surah Al-Hamd and just go through. So last week, let me just make this bigger for a second and then I'll go back. So the way I'm going to teach is this. I'm going to use, as I said in the message as well, I'll be using ayat of the Quran, increasing your vocabulary, and also the grammatical or the Arabic grammatical positions of the sentences. I will discuss that as well, so that when you try to translate, you have the understanding of the Arabic grammar for you to be able to do the correct translation of the Arabic texts. Because otherwise, if you just do word by word, you won't be able to translate sentences from the Quran unless you know the Arabic grammar. So I will try to give you that information from the grammatical perspective so that you can be able to translate the ayat of the Quran. Now, last lesson, let me show you on the screen. One second, let me just get onto the screen. Right, okay. So of course, the way I'm teaching it, I'm not replica anyone. It's my own approach of how to teach this subject. Now, I'm going to cover two things today. I'm going to cover two topics. One topic I'm going to try to cover, it's the prepositions. What are prepositions in the Arabic language? Point number one. Point number two, what are adjectives? Okay, these are two things, two concepts, which I probably will only be able to cover today in Surah Al-Hamd. And then inshallah, maybe next session, I will start the tafsir of the Surah Al-Hamd and the information and the importance of Surah Al-Hamd itself. Now, in the first ayah of the Quran, now, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Now, this is the Quran which I'm using is not a Shia Quran. Because how do we know that this is not Shia Quran? This is general knowledge. Before we go to any discussion, how do we know that whether this is a Shia Quran or a Sunni Quran? I've got nothing against Sunni Qurans, but there are certain things about the Shia Qurans and the Sunni Qurans have.
So Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim is not part of the Alhamd in this?
Will be the ayah number 1.
Exactly. So this is a clear indication that this is a Sunni Quran, not a Shia Quran, because we as Shias believe that there are 114 Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahims in the Quran, and there are 113 surahs, which Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim is part of each surah. Whereas here in Surah Al-Hamd, they have actually not put number 1 next to it. And inshallah, I'll discuss this next week, because in the Quran it says, indeed, we have revealed to you Sab'a Mathani wal Quran al-Azim. So the 7 often recited verses and the Holy Quran. Now, what they have done here, that they've actually, I'll explain this next week, but just remember that point, that Al-Hamd is part of Surah, Bismillah ar-Rahman is part of Surah Al-Hamd. Right, okay. Now, the first concept which I'm going to focus on is this here. Ba, as we said, it means in or by. Now, over here, you will see the meme has a kasra. Bi-ismillahi, in or by. Ba comes in 2 meanings. In or by the assistance or by the help of the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Okay? Bi-ismillahi. Now, you will see here that Ismillahi has a kasra, and the name, the ismun. So the word ismun, alif, sin, mim, ismun means a noun or name. Exactly. So here, the meme has a kasra. Now, this is what I'm going to discuss today, and make yourself familiar with the different types of prepositions, and then I'll go to the other aspect which I'm going to cover today, which is this here. I'm going to mention, I'll show you. Ar-Rahmani, Ar-Rahimi. Ar-Rahmani, Ar-Rahimi. So meme has Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's name has a kasra, but the word Ar-Rahmani and Ar-Rahimi, these 2 things, so Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, so the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is Allah, and Ar-Rahman, Ar-Rahim, these are the sifat, the adjective, the attributes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And they are ending with Ar-Rahmani, Ar-Rahimi. And I'm going to talk about the criteria and the requirements of how a noun can become an adjective for a noun which is describing. So these are the 2 things I want to cover, and then inshallah see how far I can get. Right, let's start. So first thing I'm going to cover is about this. So it's going to be lesson number 4. I'm going to do first. I'm going to not teach the book lesson, follow the actual order of the actual book itself. I'm going to do it my way, which I think is appropriate, by all means. Okay, now here. Now, some of you have done this, but some of you have not. So that's the reason why. For some of you, it's revision, and some of you, it's new. Now, lesson number 4, as in Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, the ba itself, I said it's a preposition. What is a preposition? We mentioned that it's a particle which completes a sentence. And it is normally either attached to a noun or it can be attached to a verb. Okay, like I am eating food with a spoon. I am going from London to Najaf. I am going from London to Najaf. So to Najaf is a preposition, but the action of traveling is completed when I travel to Najaf itself. So these are prepositions itself. Now I'm going to ask someone to read these, and then we'll go through some of these examples. That's fine. I'm going to ask, mashallah, good to see her today, Sister Alisha. I will ask Sister Sina, how are you? Would you be able to come on the mic?
Alhamdulillah, yes, Shaykha. Okay, prepositions. All prepositions in Arabic take the genitive case. For example, fis samai, in the sky or in the heaven. إلى النار, to the fire, على سفر, on a journey, min Qur'anin, from a recitation. Note that when min is followed by the article, and are they talking about article as in the al
Okay.
article? Are they talking
So
about
yeah, let me just mention two things here. Now, this word here, many of the people who are not doing Arabic language
means
don't
kasra? It
exactly.
means, yeah, genitive means it puts it into the state of kasra. So sama'i and nari and safarin and Quranin. So it puts genitive, just means it turns into a kasra. The last letter will turn into a kasra.
It could be a kasra tanween or
Yeah.
one kasra.
One kasra, yeah.
Correct.
So, and when they talk about is that the al article, which is the al as in the? Sorry, I just want to
Correct.
confirm.
So yeah.
Yeah. So in here,
So what the sister testing is, so when it says about the al article, it means the definite article, which will change the meaning of a word. For example, a book. When you say a book, it could be a science book, a maths book, it could be any book. But when you're saying the book, you're referring to a particular book. So that is called the definite article, and it changes a common noun. A common noun is any book itself, a book. But with the book, it becomes a proper noun. Correct.
Specific. So note that when min is followed by the article, which is the al article, or a word beginning with hamzatul wasl, it becomes mina. So for example, minal jannati, from the garden. Yeah, munna. So the majority of prepositions are written separately from the word they govern, as in the above example.
Let's elaborate this now. Now, first of all, now we need to understand over here. Let's mark it up. This word here, min al jinnati. Now, this alif here, which is coming. Now, this alif is called hamzatul wasl. This is called hamzatul wasl. So hamzatul wasl is that alif of the definite article that when the word alhamdu, whenever it comes in the beginning of the sentence, the alif lam of that noun is pronounced. But whether when it comes in the middle of the sentence or end of the sentence, the alif becomes silent. So that is why this is called hamzatul wasl. Is that clear, Sister Sina? Yeah.
Yeah, that's clear.
Yeah.
So originally min is mina over here is min, and because it's two sukoons which follow each other, so then what you do is that you give a min a fatha, so you can read it. Read it quickly. Is that what it's saying as well?
Yeah.
I understand the hamzat al-wasl. It's just that when two sakinas are together, then you have to obviously
give it harakat to be able to pronounce it.
Exactly.
So originally this word was min. Min means from. But because al-jannah, alif here is silence of al-jannah and it's coming. So this is the lam is silent, the noon is silent. So what happens to be able to run and read the text fluently, you change the sukoon to a fatha, minal jannati. They wrote jannati. Should be minal jannati. That's fine. Minal jannati. That's fine. Minal jannati. So that's what is called two silent letters. Now you see min and al jannati is getting a kasra. So this is what prepositions do. Whenever there's preposition, there are of course 17 prepositions in the Arabic language. I'm not going to teach you overnight today. I'm just going to gradually build your vocab. Fi, in, ila means to, ala means on, min means from. Is that clear, everyone? Yes?
Yeah, that's clear.
Go ahead.
Okay. The majority of prepositions are written separately from the word they govern, as in the above example. However, those that consist of a single letter are prefixed to the word they govern. The most important being li and bi. For example, li ahlin, 2 or 4 people, bi rahmatin, by a mercy. If li is prefixed to a word that also has a definite article, the preposition and the article are written together. So lil.
Okay, let me explain it. If li is prefixed to a word that also has definite article, the preposition and the article are written together as okay. Now, so literally what it means, the word abdun, ayn ba, dal. Abdun means a servant. And al, when you add alif lam, the servant, it becomes, do you want me to write this in the chat box? Does
That's
anyone
fine.
want,
I don't know. You can
no,
explain. It's quite
no,
straightforward.
some people are new. So let me do it in the chat box. Give me one
Okay.
second. So al iba. So the original word is al abdu. Al ibadu is the plural of al abdu, which means the servant and the servants. Okay. And when the word al abdu changes and you want to say for the servants or to the servants, the alif here of al ibadu, the alif is dropped, and the lam of the definite article joined together, and it becomes lil ibadi. Lil. If anything's not clear to anyone, just please just message me and I will clarify yourself. Lil ibadi. Sister Abi, the iPhone, is that clear for you?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, because I know you're new, so that's the reason I'm asking you. Right, okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Because I know you tried many times to join the classes, but it's always been not a successful try. But inshallah, this time will be a successful try.
Inshallah, I'll try to stay with it.
Inshallah. Okay, now then we have, continue, Sister Tasina.
Okay, note also lillahi, to or for God. The article after be is written in full. Bil waladi. In the valley. Can you explain that? Let's elaborate on that. So if you've got lillah.
Also, the word now, the word of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the name of Allah, it's Allahu.
Yeah.
And in Allahu, that before this lam here, there should be alif.
Yes, it should.
So it should be Allahu. But when you say for Allah, the alif of Allah, the definite article, the alif here with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's name is removed. It becomes lillahi.
Okay.
Lillahi asma'ul husna. Okay.
Okay, yeah, then.
Now, the other thing which I need to mention, a lot of Asians in particular, even in the group today, I could probably pick about 6 students and they probably do it this way. Majority of the people from India and Pakistan, when they say, I am, okay, Sister Sina, apart from you, okay, shall I pick on you? You okay? Okay, what I'm going to do, when we say, I pray namaz to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we say kurbatan. What do we say?
Qurbatan ilallah.
Exactly, illallah. I knew this was going to happen.
Okay, so what's the
Ilallah.
Qurbatan ilallah.
Illallah.
Exactly. Majority of the class is wrong then. I think expected 6 people, but the whole class is wrong.
No. This is how I
Illa means except, isn't it?
Qurbatan ilallah.
Exactly.
You're wrong, we're wrong.
I'm wrong?
It's wrong.
We're wrong.
Exactly. Everyone is praying namaz, not for Allah, but someone else.
Because Allah should not be pronounced Qurbatan lillahi.
Okay,
Oh my
Sister
God.
Zuhra. Sister, okay, that's a little bit of a laugh and a joke. Now, Sister Zuhra, come on the mic. Because
Yes,
I know come on the mic and explain what is the correct thing. Because
So-
there's 2 things. One is ilah means to, and the other word is illa. Illa means
Illa is except. That's with
Exactly.
the shadda.
Now, explain the 2 pronunciation difference between ilah and illa. Please explain this.
So if I'm praying, for example, I'm praying 2 rakat salah wajib qurbatan ilallah, for Allah. And if I say illallah, then I'm praying except for Allah. Except
Exactly.
Allah. So my niyat is for nobody, anybody else but Allah.
Exactly.
Okay, so Qurbatan ilallah.
Exactly. Not illallah, ilallah.
Ilallah.
Illallah.
Okay.
Ilallah.
Allah. With a full mouth, yes,
Yeah.
Sheikh?
Correct.
Qurbatan
Ilallah.
Illallah.
So I this is something just passing by. I knew this was going to happen. I said,
Oh my
okay.
God.
And ask many of the people in the house as well. Majority of the Asian and Indians, when it comes out, I correct them many times. I said, okay, but you spent 25 years praying namaz, and your intention, your niyyah of namaz is not correct as yet. Qurbatan ilallah. So illallah and ilallah. That's two different words. Okay.
Ilallah. Ilallah.
Oh, sorry, are you saying it should be Allah is the full mouth? You're saying is that what people are doing wrong? They are
So
doing
illallah.
Allah.
No, they're not doing full mouth. They're not doing full mouth. They say illallah. Illallah means except illallah. So the word, I'll give you an example. Let me write this down for you. In our kalima, in
Yeah.
kalima shahada, we say,
Yeah.
let me write this down for you. La
La
ilaha
illallah.
let me write this down. And
Jay, can you tell us the correct way of saying it one more time? It's ilallah.
Sister Zohra, you can do this for me. I'll go type this up.
No, it's ilallah. If you say ilallah, then you're adding a ya sukun there. Ilallah.
Ilallah.
Yes.
Ilallah.
Yeah,
That's what I
not
thought I said.
illallah. Illa means except. So this would be ilallah. For Allah.
Ilallah.
Illallah.
I'm sorry, I'm getting confused. Are people saying in Allah instead
No,
of saying
no.
il?
This is Tasina, look on the WhatsApp in the Zoom group.
Okay, I'll check.
This illa, the word in kalma, la ilaha illallah. This illallah, other than Allah, there's no God. Illa means except. The people are, majority of the people say this illallah.
Ilallah. I said qurbatan ilallah.
Qurbatan ilallah.
Qurbatan
Ilallah.
ilallah.
Not illallah,
Qurbatan
ilallah, without a shadda.
Yeah.
Qurbatan ilallah.
Ilallah, exactly. Ilallah. Not too long. Ilallah.
Qurbatan ilallah.
मैं एक बात पूछूं इसमें
माशाल्लाह आप तो टीचर हैं बिस्मिल्लाह आप आए
मैं तजवीद में ये पढ़ा है कि जब तनवीन के बाद हमजा वसल आएगा तो उसको निल्ला करके पढ़ना है एक फतह लगा के इज दैट राइट इसमें नहीं है ये क्या कुर्बतल्ला
इल्लल्लाह जी बिल्कुल यहाँ
नहीं वो तो
इल्लल्लाह
ठीक है लेकिन तजवीद के हिसाब से तनवीन के बाद अगर हमजा वसल आ रहा है तो हम फतह और फिर कसरा लगा देंगे नून के नीचे
yeah we did this in book 3 as well remember we did this
नहीं आई एम आस्किंग इन दिस सिचुएशन हम नहीं करेंगे
no it's here it's ilallah not in this ruling it is accepted here
ठीक है
okay it's here is ilallah okay right
God,
okay
I'm
let's
so
come back
glad I joined the class
okay
today. That's a massive mistake.
during Shahr Ramadan okay when you have the Quran recitation in your idaras just check each other's recitation on that's not my talk today that was just passing by right okay now here al-abdu is the servant al-ibadu the servant so alif lam for the servant has been omitted and becomes lil ibadi and here lillahi for Allah and then the article after B is written in full so here bil wadi the alif is remaining here so you need to know the sun letters and the moon letters are quite important so here because after the alif lam this waw is a moon letter a moon letter is that letter which comes after the alif lam and the al is pronounced so here that's the reason why the ba is written with the alif and is bil wadi any questions so far
No, I'm just shocked that I'm reading Qurbatanillah incorrectly. That's the only thing I'm just worried about. All these years we've been doing this.
That's massive. Same.
the thing is many things that we do this and we don't focus it's very unfortunate but we need to focus and if we focus many of the issues which we have in our societies would be resolved if we focus a bit more how often how many hours do we spend on the TV How many
Mm.
hours do you spend flicking through the TV?
Oh, true, true,
Um,
true.
So if we just cut down on that, I don't get time at all. I have I can't watch TV. I don't get time, no time. I'm probably 24. I'm literally on the
Mashallah.
classes or doing something. I don't get time. So apart from that, other individuals, if you the Shahr Ramadan is a great opportunity. Now, during Shahr Ramadan, you have 30 days. If you read 30 ahadith about the Ahlul Bayt al-Muslim or 30 ethical ahadith, there'll be 30 different characteristics built within you within 30 days itself.
Mashallah. Mm.
So try to, even like with yourselves and children as well. Shahr Ramadan is it's the time that we can reevaluate ourselves and reassess ourselves. So take this opportunity. Let you sit with your children as well. Especially you've got the half-term holidays. During these half-term holidays, try to sit down with your children and talk about the Quran. That how the Quran is a living miracle and how the Quran is proving the prophethood of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam by the means of being a miracle, and what are the scientific and the perspectives of the Quran for it to be a miracle, because we are living in a day and age where the religion and faith is always challenged by external forces itself. And there was a beautiful I was actually listening to something and about someone was this alim was saying all of Islam, let me just do it this other way. The Quran is the dogma of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It is the constitution and the scripture of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Okay? And then the scripture of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, all of it is encompassed in Surah Al-Fatiha. Surah Al-Fatiha is one of the names of Surah Al-Fatiha is called Ummul Kitab. Ummul Kitab or Asasul Kitab. These are names of Surah Fatiha. Ummul Kitab and Asasul Kitab, the foundation of the book itself. Then the hadiths continue. Then this it's mentioned in the books as well. Then it says that all of the Islamic doctrines and theology and beliefs itself is encompassed in Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. So
Wow.
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, Allah the merciful and the compassionate. These three things, or even four concepts. One is the Ba'ul and Ba'ul Bismillah and Nuqtatu Taht al Ba, and then Allah and the two attributes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. All of Islam is encompassed in Surah Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. All of Islam, all of the pillars and the foundation of Islam are based in this ayah of the Quran. Because if we as human beings understand Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to the way we should understand, that we develop now, when we say this whole concept, I'm sorry that I've gone on a tangent, but I think it's
No, it's much
interesting.
easier. No.
We need it sometimes. Now, when you talk about the concept in Shahr Ramadan, Usikum ibadallah bitaqwallah, I advise you to fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. What is this fearing of Allah?
Mm.
Now, I'll give you an example. Like if I ask any of you, put your finger in fire on the stove, you won't do it. But the child, if you tell the child to put his finger in the stove or on the cooker, he will do it because he has no knowledge of fire burning a person. But you have knowledge of fire. When you're using a lighter, sometimes you burn your fingers sometimes, or sometimes you use matches and your cooker's not lighting up, you sometimes burn yourself. So because you're aware, you have knowledge, you protect yourself. Similarly is the case in regards to the existence of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We as human beings sometimes corrupt ourselves so much that the existence of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we cannot witness this anymore by our body and our conscience. Because in Surah Yasin, it says that Yawma tashhadu, on the day of judgment, your hands, your limbs, al-sina, will testify that what you have done. And all of this concept of spirituality, When we talk about, I want to become spiritual, I want to become close, what are you trying to do? What's the ultimate aim? Is to become close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And how is that achieved? When you develop God conscious within you. And what is God conscious? Making yourself aware of the existence of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala whenever you're doing anything itself. And Shahr Ramadan is that great opportunity we have, that the provisions which cause us to distract away from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala are capped. They are, and food, our stomach, are those measures which shaitan enters and deviates, makes us deviate from the path. And those channels have been closed so that we can think, contemplate and think and become closer. And when we become closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, life becomes happy and enjoyable. Because in the Quran, Ya ayyuhan nasu, Ya ayyuhan nasu antumul fuqara. Oh, you people, you are in need of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is in our nature itself. So inshallah, take this opportunity of Shahr Ramadan, try to recite the Quran yourselves, come close to the Quran. It's a miracle of Rasulullah, and it's a two weighty things which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has left for us, Quran and the Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam. So both of them are important to cling on to. Right. Now, here, Wallahi, let's continue.
So it says lesson 4.
Yeah, I'm just going back to it. 31. Okay, then here, over here now. This here, Wallahi. Here, this wow here is another type of preposition which is added to a noun, and it means qasam. Wallahi, I swear by Allah. Or washamsi wadduhaha wal qamari idha talaha. So this wow again is a wow of qasam, of oath. So this is a preposition. Whenever you see this is happening, there's two types of course, there's different types of wows. I'm going to only mention two types of wows. One wow is of qasam, and the other wow is of conjunction. Conjunction means that
is that the wow of at?
Exactly. It's called that. The conjunction in English, the best poet can explain it. It's that preposition which joins several different words under one command. That's the best way of explaining it. For example, I went to the shop and bought eggs, bread, and butter. So this and is joining all of the nouns under the command of buying. Is that clear?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's called ataf. Of course, there's other types of wows. I'm not going to teach that at the moment. Then we have the other one, Allahu ma. So the word ma itself, again, exactly. So ma'a sabirina, the original word should be sabiruna. I'll write this word down. The original word, and inshallah, I will come back to this in more detail. As-sabiruna. The original word is as-sabiruna. Because of the ma'a, it has changed.
With genitives में आ गया ये statement.
Halatul jar. Because of ma'a, it gives a noun which comes after it a kasra, and the word as-sabiruna is the plural. As-sabiruna is a plural. It's available on YouTube. As-sabiruna is the actual plural masculine. So okay, what you may ask me the question, what is plural masculine? I'll give you an easy example. In Arabic, we say muslimuna and we say muslimatun. So if there are a few brothers, you will not say the muslimat are doing good. You wouldn't say that. You would say that the Muslim brothers, muslimuna. So Muslimuna is that noun, plural, which indicates upon masculine individuals, and Muslimat is the noun which refers to females, okay? And then Zalimuna fi dhalalin
Mubin.
mubinin. So here you can see the word fi,
Put it into
the
the
dhalal
genitive. Yeah.
is getting a kasrat tanween, and mubinin is getting a kasrat tanween. So remember the point that whenever a preposition comes, the noun after it can either have one kasra or two kasra tanweens. Now the question is, when would a noun after a preposition like li or fi, when will it have a kasra? The next ayah or next sentence explains this. Sister, I'm going to ask someone to come on the mic. Sister, let's bring someone new. Let's welcome Sister Ruksar. Mrs. Ruksar, are you available?
Islam, yeah, I am.
Alaykum assalam wa rahmatullah. Bismillah. Now here, over here now, as-sadaqatu lil fuqara'i. Yeah.
What would you like me to read?
Yes, let's read this example here. As-sadaqatu.
As-sadaqatu lil fuqara'i.
Exactly. Now, this word lil fuqara'i, there was originally an alif here for the poor. So faqir, the singular, I'll write this word down. I want to increase everyone's vocabulary as well. The singular of fuqara is faqirun. Faqirun. I'm going to just write this down.
Okay.
That box so that everyone has that word. Faqirun means a needy person, and al-fuqara'u, the needy people or the poor. Now, and you see the translation for the poor. So here, the alif lam of the definite article for al-fuqara, the alif has been dropped and it becomes, and because of the alif lam, so whenever a noun has alif lam, the last letter of the noun, because of preposition li, it wouldn't take two tanweens, two kasra tanweens, it will take only one kasra. Becomes lil. Sister Ruksar, lil fuqara'i. Excellent. Now, do the next one here now. What's happening here now? So look, you can look at the translation as well. There is much corruption on the earth. So here is fi, which means in. So what's happening? Explain here now.
Fi fil arzi
Fasadun.
kabirun.
Correct. So lil fil ardi fasadun kabirun. Now, because of fi, it's changing the last letter of the word arth, the earth. Okay. Now, the next thing I'm going to ask you to do, if I remove the alif lam of al-aradhu, so the original word, if fi wasn't there, the original harakat of any word in the Arabic language is always a pesh, a dhamma, al-aradhu. Like, you know, Surah Al-Hamd, we start with alhamdu. We don't say alhamdi, we don't say alhamda, we start off alhamdu. Is that clear?
Yeah, so it would just be arz.
Al-ardu, correct. So all nouns originally, when they are in its original, so as we know, in any language, there are three types of words. You have verbs, nouns, and prepositions. And in Arabic language, all nouns, they would, if there's nothing coming before it, the last letter of the word should always end with a dhamma or a dhamma tanween. So here, because of the alif lam, the original position of the word the earth should be al-ardu. Is that clear?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Now over here now, this is the last one, and then inshallah we'll move on to the next thing. What's happening here now? Al al-a'rafi.
Sorry, I was muted.
Yeah.
Al-arzu, al-arafi,
Correct.
rijalun.
Rijalun, yeah. So rajulun means a man, and rijalun. So write this word vocabulary because rijalun it comes in the word in the Quran. So you need to know the singular as well. Rajulun means a man, and rijalun, and the plural is rijalun. Okay. Rija. Rajulun. So because of ala preposition, the last word of a'raf is taking a kasra itself. Is that clear, sister? So
Yeah.
for yourself? Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, brilliant. Any questions from anyone before we move on? Any questions? So these are prepositions. So whenever the harakat changes from a dhamma to a kasra, there's a reason for it. So one reason is fi, ala. Fi means in, ala means on, or min from is coming. Okay, so these are the ones we should learn. Fi, in, ila means to, ala means on, min means from. Okay. Right.
इनकी मीनिंग से लग रहा है कि ये मुब्तदा बाद में आया है, खबर पहले आई है, मीनिंग से ये लग रहा है.
I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do this. आपने जो कहा सही कहा, बल्कि मैं अभी मुब्तदा खबर की बहस अभी नहीं शुरू करूंगा, बाद में करूंगा, क्योंकि ये बेचारों सबको मैं बगान क्लास में रखना.
ठीक है, that's fine, that's fine.
Okay. So we'll talk about subject and predicate and other things later. Not yet. Not yet. Okay. So over here now. So this is some vocabulary we're going to learn, which is the word narun. So you see that when a noun doesn't start with alif lam, it will end with a tanween. Narun, fire. Sadaqatun, and the plural of sadaqatun is sadaqatun. And niranun is plural. Urfun and a'rafun. Sabilun, pathway, and subulun. These are words which are used in the Quran. Safarun, asfarun, journey. Dhalalun, error. Fasadun, corruption. Hamdun, praise. Ahlun and ahluna, people and family. Shamsun, sun. Rahimun, compassionate. Sabirun, patient or steadfast. Is that clear for everyone?
Yes.
Yeah. Sister, Sister Alia, yes?
Yes.
Which are good. Right, okay, then this is a few more examples. I don't think I'll be able to start preposition because I didn't realize the time has passed by so quickly. I didn't realize it's all coming up to 10 to already. So I'm going to ask someone to come on the mic. Who will come? Sister Mariam. Sister Mariam, would you like to come on the mic?
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. How are you, sister?
Alhamdulillah.
You coping well with this? It's a bit more easier than Medina
yes.
Arabic.
I think I'm following it.
Now, let's start from it. So the word, can you go through these vocabulary? These are prepositions now that whenever they come, you will be aware in the Quran itself. Bismillah. Min.
Min.
And the meaning for min is?
From.
Correct.
Fi.
Correct.
In. Li. To.
Yeah. Or for.
Be. In.
Yep.
Ala. On.
Yep. Correct.
Either. To.
Correct.
Ma. With. And. Baina. Between or among.
Excellent. 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 So at the bottom now, you will see examples which you can go through yourself. I'm not going to go through these examples. في الصدقات في ظلال مبين على النار بين السماء والأرض. So this will give you further more examples for you to absorb and comprehend today's lesson. I'm more than happy to teach and continue on. It's all depends upon your own the stamina of the students. If you want me to continue and do the prepositions, adjectives, I'm more than happy to start that.
I'm fine, brother.
you're fine. The rest of the class, they got kids as well in the house, so it's fine.
I
It's
have
not
kids as well. That's fine.
Yeah.
I would
Yeah,
say
we
you
have to
are
do
not
it.
feeling best.
Yeah.
You should take a
Yeah.
break.
हाँ आप छुट्टी करें सर आज हम आपको छुट्टी दे रहे हैं आप आराम
No,
कीजिए
no, take it course running. So inshallah, yeah,
Mashallah.
what we're gonna do next, inshallah, I will do, I need to do, I think it's lesson number 1. Yeah, lesson number 1. I'm going to do this lesson, inshallah. I will not of course today. I'll do lesson number 1, and then I'll go through the tafsir of Surah Al-Hamd, what we understand from Surah Al-Hamd and why is it important. And then I'll mention the A'mal of Ayatollah Adil Alawi. He talks about the certain A'mal you can do with Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim in fulfilling your hajat as well. So there's a certain amount of times if you repeat that and do Bismillah, your du'as are answered as well, because Ba'al Bismillah and Bismillahir Rahman, it's a very important and an effective way of even getting your du'as fulfilled if you repeat in a certain amount of times as well, inshallah. So we'll talk about that next week, inshallah. Then,
So, brother,
So
can you
this-
can you just give some homework so that like it can reinforce the learning that we've done today? It's propositions.
Yeah,
mainly.
so the main thing is that composition, so preposition. So if you go through the actual lesson number 4 of this book, I try to understand and actually write a few examples and write what's happening itself, why is it getting kasra, and try to explain that. That will really reinforce your learning itself. So that's essential, and it will help you, and you will start enjoying understanding, because this class is more focused with understanding and translating the verses of the Quran, and
Inshallah.
we need to increase your vocabulary, inshallah. So
Sorry,
this,
Malaka, where would you find the book from? Is it on the group
It's
chat?
on the it's on the group
Yeah.
chat.
it should be in the group chat. It should be in the group chat.
That's fine.
So and inshallah, if so I'll then do next week this lesson, because Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim, there's certain criteria for adjectives. I'll cover that, and then I'll start, inshallah, some explanation of the ayat, inshallah. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad wa ajil farajahum. Any questions from anyone?
Last up, this is not related to this lesson, but you know the book 3 we were in middle of. Are you not doing the Arabic lessons anymore, or because I've
I
been
am
away
doing-
for a while? So
You can join up on Wednesdays, or you could join up the new class in the evening as well, because there's different classes for the Medina Arabic.
right, okay, so that's Wednesdays, did you say?
No, there's different timing. I'll speak to you. I'll message you, and then we
Okay,
can
that's
talk about it, okay?
Inshallah.
No problem.
Thank you.
Any other question from anyone? No? Okay. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad wa ajil farajahum. So this is a slight different approach. Of course, this is still a third session. It's still very introductory. Inshallah, I will go in more detailed as we progress forward as well, inshallah. And during Shahr Ramadan, I'll send a schedule that what we're going to do during Shahr Ramadan this year as well, inshallah. Okay. Iltimas dua and fi aman.
Jazakallah. Jazakallah. Good Hafiz.